Today, I'm going to show you some ways that we can add materials to objects in our model in Rhino. So if you want to add a material, you have to go like right now we are in wireframe mode. So I have to go to render mode and you see for objects. So in that way, I can add materials, colors, and textures and everything. And you see the materials on those objects. Okay, so now let's take a look at some ways that we can add materials to these objects. The first thing that you can do, you have to select one your objects, and then you can go to the properties, and here select material right here. So here we have this option that we can apply different materials or colors and everything to the objects in Rhino. So when I click on that use layer material, there's a few different ways that we can create and apply materials to the object in Rhino. And as you see, like here, it's on the default. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this. And here you see a few options that you can apply the materials in Rhino. So first of all, it says imports from material library, right? So once you click on that import from material library, you see different materials because Rhino has a library of materials that you can apply to the objects. So here, for example, ceramics and glass, metal, and paints, patterns. So you can, choose even, woods and texture. So you can choose one of those, and then once you click on that, you can click one of these and then add the material to your objects. So another one is this one is it's this one is for texture files. It's gonna be like for rendering. So we are not going to talk about this because right now I just want to show you how we can add the material to the objects in right now. We are going to work with Twinmotion later. And then also if you go down here, so you see there are so many options, different options that you can choose one of those. It's the preset of the materials. For example, here, if you click on that, you can make your custom materials. Or even here, you see the gem, glass, metal, paints, and plastic. So if I click on custom, so with clicking on custom, I want to make add one color to that object. So here you can add one specific colors as you want to add. Like for example, let's say, I'm going to have like orange, right? So I'm going to click on that, pick the orange or your specific colors, and then hit OK. So you see the orange on your objects. Once you click that, you see the setting for the color that you added to the objects. And then also here you can name like for example box 01. So I'm going to name it like box 01. And then you can choose the setting, like, work with the setting, gloss finish, or as you see here, once added for example, the setting or gloss finish or reflectivity, so you can see it on this and even, on your objects here. And even you can, give it a transparency, so something like that, and then you see here, and then as well as on your object here. So in here, textures, so you can also add the textures to your objects if you would like. So like, for example, here, if you want to add the texture, you can select this and select your specific texture from your library. Okay, I'm going to add another material. Let me just, go back to the original. I actually want to add a reflectivity, some 20% to this object. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and add another material, select these objects, and then you can also go here and then use layer material, for example, mm, and then here you can go and add, you see the box one, the layer is here. So you can see when you add material or colors you added to these objects. And I'm gonna go back to here and choose, for example, metal, click on that, and here you can see again you have, I mean, in Rhino you have a different properties that you're going to I mean, they're going to affect the way that they look. So for example, here you have the metal, right? So if you want to, you can, you know, change the color, also you have these colors, so you can, you know, choose one of those, or even you say, like, you know, you want to add or make your own specific colors for the metal, right? So I'm going to add like this kind of color or close to gold, and then hit OK. And you see that it's a metal, so you can just, you know, add the roughness or even more polished metal. You can have more polished metal. And as you see here, it's going to be changed the material. Okay, next I'm going to go add another material. So I'm going to go hit OK. So again, like for example, I want to say I'm going to add plaster, or feel free to try all of those if you want to. Like plaster, even you can hear it's actually, you know, I'm gonna go back to add a plastic. Okay, so here I'm gonna add another color, like green. So hit OK. So here there are some options or properties that you can change it. Like for example, if you want to give it a reflectivity, so you can add this or reduce this, and or even transparency again. So, and then here you can say like more polished or frosted. It's up to you. You can play with all these properties in your project. And then let's go back, and then I'm going to select the last object. So I'm going to go and find, like, for example, add paint, right? Okay, paint. And then you see that here, I'm gonna add the colors to this, let's say I'm gonna add purple or this one. So you notice that we have these options, right, for paint. So here, again, you see the matte and closeness. Like, if you want to, like, for example, you can change it, like, go to more for glossiness, and you notice how this will be changed, right, in your object. If I go back and move around, you see the closeness on these objects. Even, you know, I can go more with 100, and if I go close, and you see the closeness on the object.